I want to tell you about a rabbit who repeatedly had the same life-threatening condition consistently 2 weeks apart. His diet was perfect, his home was quiet, his care was excellent, and none of that explained why his body kept shutting down. I want to talk to you about stress, not as a feeling, but as a medical condition. Onion was a 3-year-old rabbit who, by most standards, had a perfect life. His owner was retired. Her home was organized around him. He had space, safety, routine, and choice. He was active, curious, and deeply bonded to her. So when he came in one Wednesday, not eating, not moving, and refusing his favorite food, it was immediately concerning. His abdomen was painful. His posture was guarded. His body language said something was very wrong. His x-rays showed that there was gas trapped in his intestines and food was sitting in his stomach, so nothing was moving. His blood work showed a mild elevation in the liver enzyme. And I put that all together, and this is something called ileus. And this is where the gut shuts down, and it's extremely painful to bunnies if it's left untreated. So we treated him aggressively with fluids and pain control, motility support, and he recovered quickly. And then 2 weeks later, it happened again. And then 2 weeks later, it happened again. This is where the story starts to sound familiar because I see this pattern across species. In cats, it can look like over-grooming that flares after weekends, or in dogs with chronic diarrhea that shows up after guests leave. In birds, feather plucking when household routines go haywire. In people, there's stress headaches, stress diarrhea, stress insomnia. Labs that don't make sense until you look at life around the body. Different species, different organs, same pattern. Stress is not just an emotional state. Stress is a medical condition. It changes hormones, it alters gut motility, immune support, liver enzymes, sleep cycles, and pain perception. Cortisol that stays elevated reshapes how the body functions over time. In Onion's case, the gut shut down. The pain was real. The lab changes were real. None of this was imagined or just behavioral. After the 3rd episode, I went back to the basics. When patterns repeat, we're trained to look for infection or structural disease or something that we missed diagnostically. I did that, and I looked at the calendar. Every episode happened on a Wednesday, every other Wednesday. So I asked, what happens on Tuesdays? At first, the answer was nothing. Her life was quiet, her routine totally stable. But when I asked about visitors or small children, that sparked something in her brain. She said, oh, my grandson comes every other Tuesday. He was 2 years old. For safety, she thought, I'm going to place Onion upstairs in a cage for most of the day where he had food and water so he wouldn't panic and wouldn't be bothered by the 2-year-old. And he ate. He was fine. But Onion almost never spent that total day confined. His normal life included freedom and movement and closeness to the person he loved the most. On those Tuesdays, his world became smaller and quieter, and he was separated from the household he was used to. We changed one thing. During the next visit, Onion stayed on the first floor, safely separated from the 2-year-old, but still in the household. The ileus never came back. What's important here is not just that stress caused disease. That part is well documented across species. What matters is what kind of stress did it. It wasn't chaos. It wasn't noise. It wasn't a 2-year-old. I think that would cause me some stress. It was actually disconnection. Across species, many animals we live with are deeply social. Being left out can be more stressful than being overstimulated. A closed door, a shortened routine, a life that suddenly feels smaller. Bodies respond to those signals in predictable ways. Gut slow, hormones rise, systems strain. Stress doesn't need to look dramatic to be medically meaningful. Sometimes it looks like a rabbit upstairs, alone, while the world he's used to being a part of goes totally quiet. If this changed how you think about stress and health, subscribe for more across species insights. And you can read the full essay on my Substack, where I explore this case a little bit more.